Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through how to use Canva as a complete beginner. Whether you've never heard of Canva before or you're just curious to learn, I've got you covered. And today, I'll be guiding you through every step of the way. Canva is a simple and fun design tool that you can use to design literally anything. Be it flyers, social media posts, videos, presentations. You can work on your documents with Canva. If you can imagine it, you can design it with Canva. You don't need to be a designer or have pre-designing knowledge to learn how to use Canva. Canva is simple to use. It's just like dragging and dropping and you're already designing. You can use Canva on your web browser, or you can use it as an app installed in your laptop, your tablet, or your phone. Canva is free to use, but for you to get the extra perks, you might have to get the proof. I added timestamps to this video, so feel free to navigate through the timestamps so see which part of the video it is you want to watch and skip the part you don't want to watch. Quickly, let's get into Canva and let me show you everything you need to know. There's a sign up link in the description box. Just go down, click on more, like so, and click on the sign up link and it brings you to the sign up page. On the sign up page, this is what you'll be greeted with as somebody coming into Canva for the first time. Let's click on this. You have the individuals and teams plan, and under that you have a free plan to get started with, and you have a Canva Pro just for one person, and you have Canva teams for your team that you can add as much people as you want to add. There's a monthly plan and there's a yearly plan depending on what you want to get. And there's Canva for education. You can look at it and see what you can do with that. For some, Canva for education, Canva for teachers is free to use. Canva school and districts, and this one you can contact Canva for campus. You can contact sales and get what it is you want to use. But then let's go back to individuals and teams. I'll be clicking on this Canva for free. Let's start with the free Canva and see what we can do with that. Let me click on get started, which will open this up. It says continue with your work email, continue on that way. I'm just going to click on that way so we can see more ways to sign up. And they say you can sign up with your Apple, Google, Facebook, with Microsoft, with Clever, with email again, work email, and all that. I'm just going to quickly sign in with my Google account, which is I'm logged into. Click on it like so. It's going to ask me whether I trust Canva. I'm going to say yes. Because we started with the free version of Canva, it's going to still give you a prompt to start your free trial, because you get 30 days free trial that you can cancel at any time. And you can decide when to start your free trial, whether you're starting now. If you're going to start now, just click on next and start the free trial. I'm just going to click on maybe later. They keep prompting you to get the Canva Pro for free, the free trial. So it's your choice to choose whether you want to get a Canva Pro or not. But you can still do maybe later and try out the free version and see what you can do with it and see when to start using the Pro. So when you log into Canva for the first time, this is what you'll be greeted with. There's the left panel here, and there's this panel here, and there's this part here. So I'm going to start from here. So this is showing that this is your personal account, and this is what you're logged into. If you click down here, you're going to see you can add another account. You see settings, you see all these things here. So for this part, this is where you get your notifications when somebody shares a design with you. This is where you get your notification. And there's a search bar here that you can click and search literally anything you're looking for in Canva. So you can segment it into Canva templates to search only the templates, or you can, if I close that out, you can search all content, all your content that you've uploaded into Canva. So because this is a brand new Canva account, there's nothing we've uploaded into it, so it says no result. This is where Canva announces some of their releases. So you might see this time they just finished doing the Droptober. Is here you can see the latest launches if you're still watching it when this is still here. Now, these are doc type. So before we continue, I have put together a Google document that contains simple terminologies that I use in Canva. So feel free to grab the document in the description of this video and go through it and see what each terms are called and what they actually mean, because you'll be hearing me say most of them. Like for this is doc, all these are doc type or file type, what file type you want to design with. So this is a document doc type or document file type. This is a whiteboard file type, which has different sizes and different measurement. How they appear is quite different. So this is a presentation file type. The social media, you can call it file type or doc type. This is social media that has the social media design that you can design for various platforms. This is a video doc type. You can design a website in Canva. Can you imagine? Yes. And for the custom size here, if you click on custom size, you can customize the size. If you have a particular size of design or you are thinking of designing something in a particular size, you can custom the size here. So this is the width of the custom size, and this is the height of the default measurement is in pixels. But if you click on the drop down, you can see you can measure it in the inch, you can measure in millimeter, you can measure centimeter. Let me quickly type something here. So because it's in centimeter, I'm going to change that into pixels. So you can pick, yes. So this is so much. So I'm going to switch it back. You see, once I have the correct custom size I want to work with, you can click on create design to start designing in that custom size. I'm going to close this out, and you can upload your own media. You can add your media, be it PDF, pictures, videos. You can upload it for here. And if you click the more, these three dots, it's going to bring out more things you can see from this interface. These are the recent releases. That's why they are here. They might not be here when you're checking your Canva. Depending on when you're watching this video, they might not be here by then because there's a new release, like I said earlier. That's why when you click on see launches, you're going to see all the because of the new release that Canva just did in October 2024. That's why these things are here. If you scroll down, you see get started creating a design. This blank page now is where all your designs are going to live in. Any design you've ever worked on, this is where it's going to live on. So let me show you my own Canva page. So if you look here, this is all the design I've been working on. It says recent design. This is how it's going to look. Let's go back and let's look at the side panel on the home page. We are on the home right now, and this is projects. These are the projects you've worked on. Because we don't have anything we've worked on, this is why here is empty, which is the same. If I go back to home, you see that when I click this, it segmented this to Canva templates and all content. So your all content is the project. It's the same thing that you will see. So if I click on templates and we'll go back to home, let's go back to home. Let me show you what I mean. And you click on search and click on templates. This function here is still the same thing that this template does, but some people quite like going through the templates here, but you just click on search. If they already know what kind of doc type they want to work on, they can click on here and start searching for what they want through the home. So this is the project, like I said earlier. This is your template. Templates are pre-designed layouts you can work with. So under the templates, we have things like business, social media, print products, education, video, marketing cards. If you click this arrow here, you will see cards and invitation. Browse by category. These are templates are pre-designed layout. So these templates are grouped under different doc types. So this one, they are templates under documents, they are templates under whiteboards, they are templates under presentations, they are templates under Instagram posts. You can just browse what it is you're looking for, or you can just type it into the search bar what it is you want to search out for. So this is the brand kit. If you're using a Canva free account and you click on the brand kit, it's going to say this is the Pro feature for you to be able to use the brand kit here. So have a Canva Pro. This is apps. Canva has apps connected to it that can make you work seamlessly and bring all your workflow into one place. If you look here, you will see Canva for Google Workspace. You can connect your Canva to make your email, to your drive, to your calendar, to your docs, to your sheets. You can explore this to connect into Canva Google Workplace. So if you click on Explore Canva for Google Workplace, to open up this part and you install Canva for Google Workplace. Let's go back. Right now, there are trending apps that you can use to get your design to stand out. There are apps that can do things like talking avatar apps, and when you click on the app, it's going to open this interface and you can see whether using existing design or using a new design, depending on what app it is you want to use. There are numbers of apps in this, and they are grouped under Work Essential apps, AI powered apps, productivity apps, design essential. They've been grouped under each of them for you to easily pick up whichever one it is you're looking for. After the app, you have the Dream Lab. Canva partnered with Leonardo AI to bring up the Dream Lab. So with the Dream Lab, you can create things like images. So I typed in here a beautiful Nigerian girl. So you get 20 points to work with. If you upgrade, you get more. And here you can set you want to design with, whether you want it in 1 by 1, which is an Instagram post. You want it in 16:9, which could be a YouTube video. You want it by 9:16, which could be a TikTok video. Using the image for these kinds of platform. Let's click on 16:9. Then you click on create. You see I've used up one of my points. When I finish using up this point, it's going to ask me to upgrade. This is beautiful. Dream Lab is beautiful. This is what it brought up for me. This is about the Dream Lab in Canva. Let's go back to our home. Still looking at the home. If you click on create a design here, it's just pretty much what is on this place. That's what you're going to say in that place. So this doc, whiteboard presentation and all that, if I click on create a new design, it's going to doc presentation, whiteboard and all that. So it literally does the same thing. Also have them prompting you again to try Canva Pro. So I think you should try Canva Pro if you're able to afford it, because you're going to get a wide range of premium features that you can use and do amazing things. But with the free version, you can also do a lot. So don't feel pressured if you're not able to afford the pro version now. You can just stick with the free until when you're able to afford it. You can then pay for the pro. Now under here, you will see get started with Canva. You can also learn the basics, craft, presentation, brush up, social. These are things you can do. If you start a designer, you have a folder is going to appear here. If you make a design your favorite, and your recent design is going to appear, because we've not worked on anything here, that's why we don't have any of this here. But you can also learn with Canva. I can also close that out, close this out. So it's not busy for me. So I can also close this out. So I have a more free homepage to look at. So when I come on, this is the trash. Prior before this date, you can actually have trash. And when you delete a design or an image from your Canva or a video, you're going to come back here and see it. But now for you to see your trash, after 30 days, it's going to wipe up just like any other platform. Now let's go back to home. And now we're going to click on creating a design. And we are going to search for YouTube thumbnail. I'm going to click on that and it's going to open up the editor. And this is the editor once you click on any design it is you want to create. I choose on YouTube thumbnail because this is what I want to work with in this tutorial. You can choose flyers, you can choose Instagram posts, you can choose Facebook posts, you can search for whatever design doc type it is you want to work with and start designing with that. Don't get scared. It is fun to use. I can assure you that. This is what you'll be greeted with. It's telling you templates are fully customizable. all that. Is going to guide you through all this for you to read through. This is Canva Editor. Whether it's Instagram post you open, once it opens up its interface, you know you're working with that editor for that doc type you choose. So now there is the top panel in the editor, and there is the side panel in the editor, and there is also the bottom part of the editor, what is going on there. So this, let's start with the center of the editor. This here is the page. This is the page, your design page. If it's video you're working on, this is your design page for your video. So this is called page. It's also in the document. I told you it's linked in the description. Please check it out. Now, looking at the top panel, you will see this. If I click on this, it's going to take me back to the home. It resizes the body of our editor. It's looking smaller like this. If you tap this X, it's going to close it out, which I'm going to do now. And if I refresh, you see we now have a recent design, and it's YouTube thumbnail. You can also always see the size of the design you're working with, and you can start the design to appear in here. You can also click on these 3 dots to see what you can do with this, and you can name the file by just clicking this pen icon and rename the file here. We're still going to go back into this design and continue working on it. Once you click on the recent design, it opens up your design this way again. You can choose to click on this arrow so I can open it in a new tab, or you can just click on it and it opens it on the same tab you're working on. So I'm going to shoot it out into a new tab. Now this is file. Here you can name your file that we are working on. You can name the file by just clicking on this pen icon, and I advise you to name all your documents because this is usually helpful. I'm going to name this BT Beginner's Tutorial. So now going back to the file, you can create a new design here. You can import files here. You can do your settings here. You can show rulers, show ruler like so. It brings out the ruler you're working with, so you can use it to measure what it is you're designing. And going back to settings, you can add grids and customize the grid and how many columns you want. You can custom what you want, the columns, the rows, how many sides you want, the gaps you want between them, the margin you want them to have. And you can add these guides added and locked. If by any time you are designing and you feel like you want to remove these guides, you can click back on the file and go back to settings and clear grid. Now let's go back to file again. You can save your design. Canva automatically saves your design, so you don't necessarily need to be doing Ctrl X every time you want to save a design, because Canva will automatically save that design you're working on. You can move it to a folder. I advise you to start creating a folder earlier on while designing with Canva, so you can be able to group in whatever it is you're working on in places. You can make a copy of your design. You can download a particular section of your design. And this is version history. Is a pro feature to show you what version it is you're working on. Maybe you worked on something 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. You can go back to that version instead of doing undo. Now this is the resize feature, which is a pro feature. And this is editing. We are editing this design now. You can choose to set the design as commenting only. Going to lock the design. What you can only do is to add your comment, but I will go back to that. You can make it as view only mode. You can only view, you cannot edit, you cannot move anything around in it. Let me set back that to editing so we can edit. Let's go back to file, so I can go back to settings. I want to take out the rulers. Here you can undo something you've done, Ctrl Z, which is the same with the Ctrl Z on your PC. You can redo what you've done. This is what I say. Canva saves what you're designing automatically. You can also name your files from here. Canva keeps giving you prompts to try Canva for 30 days for free, which is good if you're able to afford it. I will come back later and explain this part. Coming over to the side panel, you have the design element. So if you hover over anything, it's going to show you what that means to it. I'm just going to click on design. And if you come here, You will see templates. These are pre-designed layouts you can start working with. And you will see styles. Let's go back to templates. And under here, you will see blog, thumbnail, gaming. It also goes into start explaining what it is you want to pick up. Now, if you scroll down, you will see that some has the crown, which is, if you hover around it, is a pro feature, which is why you might want to try the 30 days free trial. I'm just going to pick this one here. So I advise you to start with a template if you're designing the first time. So once you click on a template you want to start working with, this is what will open up. It's showing you the template style. This is the template style. This is the font used. Archival and Bebas. These are the fonts used. And you can also see more templates like this underneath here. Let's click on this arrow backwards. Let's close this out. And here you can start. You see, I said this is a pre-designed layout. This is movable. You can start adding what it is you want, customizing these templates to work for you. You can type in text if I select, or then you can type in text you can use. These are all movable. You can move it around and place it where you want it to be. If you click on any element on this page, open up the edit BG remover. You can remove your background with this. And if I click on edit, it opens up this side panel. What I can do with this is that I can adjust the filters of this image, or I can reset the adjustments when I'm done and I don't like it. I can select the area of the image I want to adjust, whether it's the foreground or background, the whole image that I want to adjust. And let's go back. You have the Magic Studio in here. When you click on edit, and you will see PG remover, magic eraser, magic grab text, magic edit, magic expand. All these are pro features. You have to have a pro account to be able to use them. And these are the filters you can use to add a certain feel to your design. Coming down to effects, there's also an effect that has various effects you can apply to your image. There's the shadow, the dual tone, the blur. You can apply all this to an element you're working with. So if I click on dual tone, you see how it changed. If I click on this, this is how it changed this particular element we are working on to. Now let's go back, and I'll be closing this out. Border style, you can choose to increase this border style. You see, start giving it a line. If I put this dash, it gives it a line, the border of that element I'm working with. So I click out anything on this design page now, anything I can pick and move around is called elements. Let's go back to the image we're working on. And you see, because I added a border style, it brought up the colors I can add to the border, which I can come here and change the color, or I can add my brand colors that if I'm using a pro account. I'm going to close that out, and I'll come back to border style and take out this border line, so which will close out the color out. And I can do corner rounding around the edges of my border, like this shape now has a corner rounding to it. Let's see, you see there's a corner rounding to it. If I increase that, you see it's rounding the corner rounding on it. And let's go back to the image we're working on. I can crop this image by just clicking on those two. I can use the smart crop, and I can crop it into how I want. If I click on 916, you see it has automatically cropped it into a portrait 916 shape. So let me click on done. You see how it resizes that image. I can come back in and say I want it back, I don't want it again. I can go ahead and frame this how I want, do whatever I want to the image, position it where I want it to be. If I no longer want this dual tone on my image, come back to the dual tone and click on none, which restores my image back to what it is. I'm just quickly going to close this out. I can flip this image vertically or horizontally. I can reduce the transparency of an element I'm working on. You see how I reduce this transparency of this image. I can decide to animate this image. There are various animation types I can apply to this image. These ones are new. Brush animation, let's see. You can do more presets with them if you have a paid Canva account. I'm just going to remove the animation. Coming over to position, you see under position is the arrange and there's layers. Layers shows you everything on your design page. If you look at layers, you can see every element. If I click on this element, you see it's highlighted the background. This is the glow behind the image. This is the rectangle shape. This is the image. This is the top 10 text. This is the effect. So with this, you can easily know what elements, if they are overlapping. Let's see which one is overlapping on each other. You see the ones overlapping on each other. So this is overlapping. The subscribe and the line. These are overlapping on each other. Now going back to arrange, you take for instance this one is behind this text. I can choose to bring it forward again. You see it has come forward. I can just click backward or down to the back, depending on what I want to do with it. I can choose to align it to the middle and align it to the center, and this is how you align things to your page. Let me undo that. And this is the copy style. You can copy a particular style of a design and paste it on another. Say I want to copy the style of this. Let me click on this text and click on copy style. I've copied the style, so I'm going to paste it on this. You see how it changed the style of that text into what the style is. Let's undo that and do it vice versa. Say I want to copy this style. I copy this style. I can apply this, and it changes that style to it. Going back to the side panel, this is the elements. I click on the elements. Under the element, this is where you will search for anything it is you're looking for. Be it shapes, arrows, graphics, sticker, icon, anything you're looking for in the Canva library is housed under the element. So just type in the word in the search bar. Let me just type a random word, grunge. Under the elements, you're going to see all. You're going to see the graphics of this grunge. So you can select by graphics, and you're going to see by photos, and you're going to see by videos, and you're going to see by audio if there's anything that is under grunge that is under audio. And you're going to see by shapes, depending on what style you're looking for, that particular element you're searching for. And you're going to see by frames. So you see there are no grunge under frames. You're going to see by mockups. They are not under here, and you're going to see it by chart. So whatever it is you're searching for, you can just come under this category after you search for it and select the category of what you want it to be under, and you can see what it is you're looking for. Like now if you go to photos, these are all grunge images they have. So whatever it is you're searching for in Canva, use the element tab is your go to search out anything in the Canva library. And I think for instance, we pick on this grunge shape. When you click on a particular element you want to work on, and it's not really the kind of element you're looking for to work with, you can click on it like I did so. It brings up the magic recommendation, which you can click on see all, and you can now start seeing other styles of that element, so you can decide to pick from it. Another thing I want you to notice here is the three dots. If you click on the three dots to see if it came as a collection or to see more like this. So if you click on these three dots, it's going to show you more images like this, and you can start it so you can find it in your staff folder. So the next time you don't have to start looking for it, you can go to your staff folder to see everything you add, or you can add it to a particular folder. So whenever it is you want to use the same image, you can go to that folder and grab it. So if I click on add to a new folder, it's going to ask me to create a new folder or add it to an already existing folder. Let's go back. You see this came as a collection. I can click on, I'm seeing everything that looks like this in this collection. So I can have the same element I use throughout all my design, and they have the same feel and look. And let's go over to text. This is where you add your text. And this one is magic, right? If you can just click on this add a text box, which you can come here and customize the fonts. You can change it to pop-ins or to whatever text you're using in your brand. And this is the text style. You can choose whether it's a heading, subheading, or body. Or you can choose text from your brand kit. Say you have a pro account to work with. If you scroll down, you can see font combination that you can start designing with. So you don't have to crack your head and say which font goes with which fonts. You can just say fonts that go with each other that you can start working with. But some are pro, some are free. And also you can add page numbers to your page. This is the new feature in Canva. So if you want to add page numbers, you can use this dynamic text here. So add page numbers. Under the side panel again, you have your brand kit. This is where your brand assets are housed. You can add your logo, your colors, your fonts into this one place. And you can add your brand voice, your brand photo, your brand graphics, your brand icon here. If you have a pro account, you can start adding them through here. The next one on the side panel is the uploads tab. Here you can upload your images here, just like you can do from the home page. You can do it from here. You have to upload your files. You just click on upload your files. You can drag and drop your media from here. And here you can also record yourself. If you want to record your screen on Canva, this is how you do it. So you see that open up this interface for me to record my screen. And here you want to record only your screen. You want to record camera and screen. You want to record camera only. Depending on what it is you want to record, whichever one you click is going to select it for you. And when you're done recording, you can click on save and exit. But I'm going to quickly exit the studio because I will leave in the description how to screen record using Canva. The next one is the draw on the side panel. You can literally draw on your design. Let's add a new page. When I click an icon on to draw it, I can start drawing. Sorry, I'm not a good drawer. Under the draw tools, you have your pen, your marker, your highlighter, your eraser, and you can also change the colors here. My marker, I want to change it to black, or I want to change it to the color of my marker to that. But you can just choose from your document colors to work with. I've changed it to a yellow, so if I draw again, it's going to draw with the yellow. I can decide its weight and the transparency of my drawing, the size of it I want to work with. You see that increase the size of what I'm doing. In the side panel, if I scroll down, you will see your projects. This is the only design we've created with this account. You can create folders here. This is where you're going to see your start elements, so you can pick them up anytime you want to design. Up here, you will see that it's segmented into design and folders. If you click this drop down, you can see the ones that are shared with you and the ones that are your project, that you were the one that started the design yourself. Coming over to apps again, you can access everything in the home in the editor. So here you have your apps, the ones you want to discover newly, and the apps you've used before. So there are a few apps from Canva that I would like you to try. When designing, you can also use these apps. They are usually very good. You have the charts, the photos, data auto fill, translate, videos, background remover, and the magic media. I want to focus on is the magic media. You can do a lot with the magic media. This is where you find it. The magic media is separated into images, graphics, and videos. Under the magic media, you can use it to create any image, just like we used in the Canva Dream Lab to create an image. You can type in what it is you want it to create, or you can ask it to inspire you. I click on a rocket launching at sunset. Now you can choose the style of what you want to work with. If I click on see all, you can see various styles there is. And if we go back, and you've chosen a style, I just choose this one randomly, then go down. And you can choose the aspect ratio you want your image to be in. This is the 1080 by 1080 pixel, which is the square shape. This is landscape and this is portrait. I'm just quickly going to go with landscape. And if you hit on generate, it's going to generate that image. You can tap on any of the image. If I tap on this image to add it to my design page, and it's going to also upload it into my design here. You get 50 credits to work with every month as a Canva free user, but as a pro user, you get 500 credits to work with. You can generate images that are graphics, and you can generate videos. For the videos, you get 5 credits as a free user to use every month. And once you add an app to what you're working with, it's going to show up on the side panel. So if you click on this, and we decide to choose another app to work with, say we decide to choose bulk create. Once we're done doing bulk create, it's going to show up on our side panel. So we don't necessarily need to go to app every time we're working on it. We can just come down here and pick up the app we want to work with. And there is this one, quick actions. This sign here is for quick actions, and you can add notes to your design here so you can remember what it is you want to do when next you come to design. What is the presentation you're working on and you want to present with Canva, you can decide to add your notes here. And you can also name each of your page in your design by coming over here. You name the page, and you want this page to be something else, you can name the page. This shows you how many pages you're working on, page 1 or 2, and with this arrow here you can shrink down your design and you can increase that to be more visible. For here, this is your thumbnail view. It shows you your pages you've worked on in a thumbnail view. If I wanted to return back to the scroll view, I'll bring it back so I can be scrolling it up and down. And if I want to see every design I've worked on, maybe I have up to 50 pages I've worked on, I can use here the grid view. It opens up all my pages and I can see all of them from here. And if I want to see my design, how it will look when I present, I just click on here. And this sign here is to ask Canva anything. You can literally ask Canva anything. If you're looking for something, you can ask Canva and Canva gets it for you. Let's close that out. Coming back to the page, I'm going to go ahead and delete this page. And I'll focus on this first page only. And with this first page, if you look up here, you can lock this page, elements in the whole page, nothing can be moved. And let's unlock that. You can duplicate this page and it appears twice, and you move it up and move it down depending on what you want to do. You can hide the page by using this. So you can unhide it. I'm still going to go ahead and delete this second one, and you can add a new page by clicking here or by clicking the sign down here. Let's go back to our design. This is how our template looked when we first took it. I'm going to click on that and it's asking me to add template as a new page or replace current page. You can choose to add this template again as a new page or replace current page. I'm going to replace the current page. See, it has changed everything in my design. And if you look at the template style, I can choose to toggle it. You keep changing that to see different variation of how you want your design style to look. I'm going to leave it as so, and I'll close this panel. Let's go over to position and come over to layers. Each of everything on this page is shown on this layer as I mentioned before, and each of it can be called an element. You can move them around. If I move this to the back, you can see the yellow color that has disappeared from here. And if I also move this bell to the back, you won't be able to see it. Let me just move this black backwards, and you can now see everything that's on the design. If you click on any element on your page, you can see ability to duplicate that element, which I'm going to delete the duplicate now. You can decide to lock that element so that it can be moved on this place. Let me go back to position and let me scroll. And you can see that it has a lock key. And if I click on it, I can decide to unlock it here. And for any element you click on, there's the 3 dots by the side here that you can see more things you can do to that element. Let's click on this image and click on the 3 dots. I can decide to copy this image and paste it somewhere else. I can decide to duplicate it. The duplicate sign is like D, or I click Ctrl key on my keyboard. I can decide to delete it, just the same thing that is happening here. I can decide to choose where it's layers, whether to bring it to the front, send it to the back, or show the layers where it's located. If I click on show layers, it's going to show me where it's located in my page. Let me close this out. Coming back to the three dots, I can decide to show timing. That's if I'm working on a video and I want this element to come in at a particular time. The comment is here, the link is here, the lock. I can decide to use it and replace my background. You see, it replaces the original background, but I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to undo what I've done and click on the image again and go back to the three dots. If I come down, apply the colors of this image to the page. If I click on that, you see that I apply the colors that the image has to the page, which is what I don't want. I'm going to undo. Now let's work on this design. Let's change this image. I'll go ahead and go back to our Magic Media images. I'm going to go back. I'm going to say confident and beautiful Nigerian woman, and want to get an image that is high flash. Want the aspect ratio of the image to be this. I'll click on generate. This one looks like more like what I'm going to use. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to take out this image. I'm going to position this here. Because I don't have a Canva Pro account, I can use the BG remover. When I clicked on it, it brought up, you try it for free for 30 days. If you're able to afford it, you can just sign up. What I'm going to do is to click on share, where I have the option to copy the link of this image. If I click on the drop down, I can see the option of anyone with the link. When I click anyone with the link, it brings out what anyone with the link can do. And when you click down on it, you have the option to make the person only comment or leave you. But I will leave it as can edit so that I can copy the link and go over to my Pro account and work with that. So let's go into my Pro account. I'm just going to paste in a new tab, paste the link like so. It has opened up this design in my own Pro account, because the account I was using before here was the tutorial account. You see now it has shown that the people that are added to this page are shown up here. I'm going to go back to the account I copied it to, and when I click on this image, I have the option to remove the background. These are things you can do with Canva Pro. You see, I've taken out the background. I can decide to extend it further or shrink it or position it wherever I want it to be. So let's say I want it to be sitting on this, I'll say it's sitting on there, and I will go to position and come over to layers. This is the background image, so this color came with the background image. What I'm going to do is, let me quickly close this, click on edit and go over to dual tone, and I want this not to be too in your face. So I've changed the background color of the image to this, and I will go back. Because we've changed our background color, we might decide to change this yellow color. Let's still go back to position and go back to layers and go back to the yellow glow color. And let's click these three dots here and let's come down to where it says info. We'll see this is a free color, one color illustration. We can view the collections. You see, this is beautiful. Now we have an option. Select a different style that is not what we have before now. We can choose to position it correctly, and we can click on these three dots to use the layers to send it to the back, or we can just go to position. You see where it went to the back, or we can bring it on top. We are still going to leave this yellow here because it gave it a bit of yellowish, which I kind of like. You can decide to customize the text. I can choose to come here and change this to, I have the option to expand this text box like so, but I'm going to shrink it down because it's overlapping with her face, and I'm going to put the alignment to the side. You just need to position elements where you want to see them. We'll still go back to the layer so we can pick up the yellow shape. This yellow shape, we can decide to take it out entirely by deleting it, or Let's undo that. We can decide to spread it to cover our text, whichever one we choose. So to select these two, we can either go down our mouse and select the both of the elements, or move the yellow color up and click on shift on our keyboard and select this one. So selected the two of them. Then we can decide to reduce the size together. You can decide to change the color of this rectangle to something else. There's the default color, the solid colors, and there are gradient colors. So if I pick on this gradient, see, change it. Let me choose another gradient. I like this gradient. Now you can now click out. You can choose to come back. Let's go back to layers, go to position and back to layers. Click on this shape again. And see, if we want this gradient to have more depth, we can click on the colors to add in more colors. You can decide to make this black. You can add in more colors. We can decide to reduce. And this is the color picker that we can use to pick up color from our design. You see that we've added more colors to this design. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to take out this color. I don't like it. And I'm going to take out this and leave it as is. With the text, this text already has an effect. So you can see what has been done to an element you want to work on by just looking at these editing tools you have up here. And this text effect here, you can choose to choose other effects. There are shadow, lift. The one applied is the lift. There's outline, there's split, there's all this effect down here. You can choose to test it out. And if we choose to cover our text, you can choose to make it curve. You see how it made our text look. And if we go down, you can choose to decide what angle is curved into, whether it's curved as a circle or, yeah, you see that. So I'm going to take out, I'm not going to add curve to it. I'm going to take out this shadow effect and I'm going to add the outline effect. And if you add an effect, you can choose to customize the color. So I'm customizing the colors of the border that the outline has. And you can decide to take out things you don't want in your design. Like I'm going to take these ones out. Let me hold down the shift key on my keyboard and unselect this one. So it's selecting this one. I'm going to take it out. Depending on what you want, you can decide to move all of this to be here. Let's go back to position. Let's select all of this by holding the shift key on our keyboard. And let's move that here. Now that we have it here, click on this and use the flip to flip it horizontally, you see. Let's select these to position them how we want them to do. Once you're happy with your design and you're ready to export, you click on this share button again. And I can also share this design with someone else I want to, if I want the person to use this design. You see, I'm editing it with the original owner. I'm not the original owner. If I go over to my projects, you will see that this design is not under my project, it's under shared with me. You see, it's located in shared with me, not under my project. So let's go back to our free account that we used to sign in. It has reflected what we did there. I have used the pro account to remove the BG by working with someone else. If we go back to our design and let's go back a bit, this is the template we chose. And this is what we turned it into. So let me add a new page. And let's see, let me add the template we use. This is the template we used to work on our edit, and this is what we came out with finally after editing. I can still apply template styles to change it. You see the way it's still changing the whole design and giving me a new vibe of what I can do with the design. So you can start as a beginner using templates to design. Then when you feel more comfortable, you can start trying out designing on a blank page. So if I want to export my design after I'm done designing, I'll click on this share button. I see the option to download. And I click on download. I have the option to download in various file formats. There's the JPEG, the PDF standard, the PDF print, the SVG, which is Pro, and MP4 or GIF. We'll leave it as PNG as is. I can increase the file size, but that's the Pro feature. I can decide to download as a transparent background, which is also a Pro feature. And yes, I can decide which pages I want to download. If I want only one page, I can toggle this up and select the pages I want to download. Once I'm done with that, I can now decide to save the download settings or not, depending on what you want to do afterwards. And I click on download, and you see it has started downloading my design. Say refer a friend and earn credits to get the premium element for free in every referral. So if you refer Canva to someone, you earn credit to use a Canva element. I would encourage you to keep practicing. Practice. Canva is pretty simple. It's easy to use. I must tell you, you want to change how your design page look. You want to get a dark theme. Let's go back to home and let's close this out. And let's go back to settings. You see, it automatically took my profile photo on my email. You can decide to select which theme you want to work with. This is to sync with the theme. Default is light theme. I'm going to switch this to a darker theme. And it has changed my Canva page to a darker theme, which helps me design more efficiently depending on what works best for you. Also under settings, you can see things you can do under your settings. You can set privacy settings, your login security, and under here you have design spotlight, you have the visual document, and this is Canva for business. You can use Canva for enterprise, you can use Canva for teams, this is Canva for education. You can also get Canva Pro as an education classroom teacher or as a non-profit. Now let's go back to our home. I would encourage you to keep practicing. Practice, and you will get a hang of it. Do let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Let me see what you designed. Tag me on Instagram and show me what you've designed so I can see and enjoy what things you've designed with you. I can share your happiness of learning how to use Canva as a design tool. Do also tag me and grow with Richard. You can see my link in the description. Do have a good one.